homework for Wednesday, 2-4-15. So hopefully you know what this shape is. It's called a parallelogram. It's also a rectangle and it's also a square, but I can use the area formula for a parallelogram for this. Area formula for parallelogram. You should have that memorized by now. If you don't, you need to get it memorized. Now, what I want you to do is, using this formula and seeing that you have area and you have a base, I want you to set up the formula and solve it. You're trying to find height. Turn off the video, do that, and then turn it back on and check. Hey, I hope you're not cheating. They gave me the area, and that area was 33.6. They gave me the base, and that base was 5.8. And they gave me the height, and they didn't give me the height, sorry, that's what I'm solving for. So I put an H here. Let's make that a little better. H. Okay. Now, I'm trying to get the age by itself. It has a 5 times 8 being multiplied by it. So to get it alone, I divide by 5.8. I do that on both sides. And I get h by itself is equal to, on this side when you do the division, 5.79. And remember, that's feet. It's not feet squared, it's just feet. Remember to put your label on there. It would only be feet squared if it was area. Number 2. A parallelogram again. What do you know? The formula is exactly the same. Wow, amazing. So this time you're trying to find, whoopsies, you're trying to find the base. I made a mistake in my diagram. I'm going to fix it. So the height in this case is not this, and it's not this. It's the shortest distance from this vertex down to the base. So this is the height, and it's 3.9. You're trying to find the base. Here's the area. You're going to set up the problem, solve the problem for base, then turn the video back on and check your work. Okay, so my area was 22.6. My height was 3.9. And my base, well, that's what I'm trying to find. So this is multiplication. To undo multiplication, I divide and divide. And I got base equals 5.79 meters. It's not meters squared. How come? I hope you just answered, because it's not area. Okay, now it's time to throw a couple tricky ones at you. See what you can do with this. I've got a circle. Its area is 100 yards squared. Turn the video off and write down the area formula for a circle, and then turn it back on and check to see if you wrote the right thing. Did you write down area equals r squared times pi? That's the area formula for a circle. Now I'm filling in these values. I know that the area, because they told me, was 100. And I know that r squared is not known. Not known. And pi is actually a known value. It seems like it's a variable, but it's really not. It's a number. So I can write pi here, but remember, this is actually a number. Okay, now, I want to get this by itself. The first thing I have to do is divide on both sides by pi to get this pi away from this r squared. So pi divided by pi is 1. So all I have left is r squared. You should be working with me, and make sure you understand it. Rewatch this part of the video if you need to. And over here, when I divide by pi, on my calculator I got 31.830988862. The problem is I don't care what r squared is. I want to know what the just plain old radius is. So The opposite of squaring something is to square root it with this sign right here. You have a square root key on your calculator. So if I square root r squared, what I'm really asking is, what times itself is r squared? Well, r times r equals r squared, so the square root of r squared is r. And over here, if I square root 3.31.830988862, I'm asking myself, what number times itself is 31.830988862? Well, I don't know that, actually, but I can use my calculator and use the square root key, and it tells me that it's about 5.64 times 5.64 is about equal to this. I rounded to the nearest hundredths, and so my radius must be about 5.64. Now, you'll see that I incorrectly put this label, and what I'm hoping is tomorrow, when John checks your homework, you can tell him that Mrs. Steffen wrote yards squared when she should have just wrote yards, because radius is not area. There should be no 2 here. And I'll know you didn't watch the video very closely if you don't tell John that. And he's going to take some points off on your score. Moving onward. Alrighty. Now we have a trapezoid. And we see base 1, not known, height, base 2, and our area. I want you to write down the area formula for a trapezoid. And then I want you to turn the video off until you've written it down, and then turn it back on and check yourself. Ta-da! Area equals 1/2 height, base 1 plus base 2. Again, you need to memorize this, so if you're just always having to look these up, you really need to start memorizing this. I'm talking to you, Chris. Alright, now, I want you to start filling in these values and solve this problem. I want you to turn the video off while you do that and actually try it on your own before you look at the answer in my work. Turn the video off. Alrighty then. First thing I have to do is fill in what I knew. I knew the area, 500. 1/2 is 1/2. That's what it is, folks. The height was 10. Base 1, I don't know. Base 2, 20. All I did right here was filled in the known values, that's called substituting, of this formula. Alrighty then, let's do some simplifying. Can't really do much to the 500. I can do something with this. I can multiply. What is 1/2 times 10? It is 5. Okay, can't really do much with this, so I bring down 5 times base 1 plus 20. Oops, I forgot my parentheses. Now, whenever there's a number in front of things like this in parentheses, you distribute. So you're doing 5 times base 1, which is 5 base 1. Notice I ignored the 1, you don't really need it there. And 5 times 20, which is 100. Now this is a simple equation that you should all be very good at solving now. I'm going to subtract 100 on both sides. It's going to give me 40 equals 5b. I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides, and that is going to give me b equals 80. You are done with Wednesday night's homework. Only one night to go. Good night.